Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's reads. For the main part of the reads, I'm going to be using the Thelema tarot deck. I feel like there's another way to say it, I just don't remember it. There's a website at the bottom if it focuses. Feel free to check that out. I think if I can get a little closer, loscarabeo.com. Hopefully I didn't misspell that. It's right there on the screen. So use whatever it says there on the screen, use that if you want to find this. Supportive Oracle Cards. Spellcasting Oracle Cards by Flavia, Barbara, and Lisbeth. There are their full names, and on the back here are some websites for them. Feel free to freeze frame and check out whatever's interesting to you. The last one is She Who Is Art. That one always pops out to me. In fact, maybe if I get that a little closer, you can see them a little better. And, of course, I use dice. So, where does it show it there? There's a website. It's from Amazon. They're metal dice. And I use the 20, the 12, and the 4. I use the 4 for the elements, the 12 for the minor arcana, and the 20 for the major arcana. Which obviously leaves out 21, but still, that's the one I use. Alright. And on to your reading. Hello, Pisces. Thank you for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them, of course. What do we have for Pisces? Okay. Well, that was upside down. Be careful not to overthink. Be careful not to overthink. Something is here for you. It's not in focus well enough yet. Something is here for you. It's not in focus well enough yet. You have the Ace of Pentacles that's entering into your life. So again, I like to use the elm tree as an analogy. This is something where it's probably just starting to pop through the soil. Like, this is how new this is. And you might not even realize it's actually there for you. Or you might be looking at it like, yeah, I don't really see the results I'm looking for. But it's starting. Something is definitely starting. Something you've been wanting for quite a long time is what I'm getting. Can we get a little bit more detail about this Ace of Pentacles? Something is like just getting into that primal energy. They also got the root chakra here. Knight of Cups and the Chariot reversed. So it's up to you like how this fits into your life. So it's a general read. Could it be romance? Possibly. Could it be finances? Possibly. Could it be a job? Possibly. Could it be a friendship? Yes. So take it as it resonates for you, but whatever this is, something is starting to come toward you very, very slowly, and it has to get through this primal energy first. Now, the primal energy of the root chakra, it's necessary. It can, when it's in balance, it's very enjoyable, in my opinion. When it's out of balance, it struggles, and this is when we do desperate things. A lot of desperate attempts to make things work out. Sometimes it's when people get very greedy, for example. Because they feel that need to hold on to things so they can survive, so they try to grab anything they can, and they hoard and stuff like that, or they become very protective, very secretive sometimes. So this primal energy where this is starting, there could be a lot of secretive energy around whoever this is you're dealing with. Even if it's a financial thing like a job coming your way, for some reason not everybody knows what's coming forward. So it's a very secretive, primal energy coming in. Whatever it is meant for you. I'm going to, not to blow this out of the water, but you got the King of Cups in the past, you got the Queen of Cups you're coming into. It doesn't matter what gender you are. It's just, when you get this divine pairing, especially for a water sign, and Pisces is a water sign, whatever it is coming forward, it's being sorted out. Something is being sorted out. And it's coming in, and I feel like you're waiting for it, and it feels like I've been waiting for it for a long time. But when you're first going to see it show up in front of you, it's still in that primal energy is what I'm getting. And it's kind of like, it's good, but like, I feel like there's a lot of problems. And I'm not believing that it's really for me, or I'm like, I've been down this road, I'm not going to go down that again. Does not mean you should put up with bad behavior or things that are not what you want, but it may be like, instead of just kind of like cutting your losses and running, pull back and give it some time to show what it really is. Don't put up with bad behavior, but pull back and just don't shut it off. Just kind of pull back and be like, listen, while you're doing that, I just can't be a part of that. So you do what you got to do, and when you get your apples more in a row or whatever, or ducks in a row, however you want to put that, all your apples in a basket, then we'll see. Like they're saying, pull back your energy. Don't just cut it off, block it, done. Pull back. I mean, if it's toxic behavior, do what you got to do. Like toxic behavior is a whole other thing. If there's toxic behavior, maybe you do have to go. But for this general reading, it shouldn't be toxic behavior, but if it is, that's a red flag in a different situation. If you are getting red flags, I would say that this reading might not be connecting to you. It may be like, yeah, if it's a red flag, don't stick around. Because whatever it is, I also feel trapped with it, but I got this came on the upside down, the door of personal healing and happiness. This is something that's going to be really good, but it doesn't feel like it's not ready just yet. Or it's coming at you in a way that you like, I don't like the way that looks. I don't feel like that's for me. Pull back. Don't shut it off. Just pull back. Get that third person perspective. That's what I'm looking for. That, up from the top of the hill, looking down in the valley. Let's just watch and see what's actually happening and see what's real here. Versus like when you're right in it and all the calamity, it looks like it's just a bunch of madness. You pull back, you start watching how certain people are acting and where they're going and how they're treating each other. You can kind of figure a little bit more out. There is a lot of speed with this. 8 of Wands. I'm trying not to talk really, really fast, but I have the urge to talk really, really fast. Which I have not had any caffeine, so there should not be any reason for that. Although I've done a reading before this, and I was not talking fast in that one, but here I'm feeling it. Here I'm feeling it. Something is coming in. It does feel fast, but maybe that's part of the problem. Another reason you need to step back to understand the true theme, the true energy here, the true feeling here. It's not coming to me. The word is just not. I feel like I can't. I feel like I can't figure it out. I feel like that's maybe the point. Step back, and then you're going to realize I still can't figure it out. Give it time. Give it time, because I feel like it's not. That's the point. You're not going to figure it out right away. That's why the word's not coming to me, because you're not. You're just going to be like, it still looks like madness. That's fine. Just stay on the outskirts. They're saying try not to abandon it unless it's truly toxic and like a red flag. Like if somebody's violent, physically violent towards you, or whatever that, violent towards you, okay, we're done. Gotta go. But if it's just kind of like people are just like not making sense, I don't know what they're doing, I don't know why this, I don't know why that, I don't know if I really like this, pull back, let it kind of sort itself out for a while. I don't know that it's really going to slow down, but I also feel like when you step back and you get used to the tempo, you get used to the pace, it's easier to kind of catch into what's really going on. It does seem like there's a lot of mystery. There's a lot of mystery going on here, which, if it's going to your benefit, you might be okay with. But we got to go a little farther here. What they're saying is, like, do not cut out on this one. This is like, they're saying don't do this. Don't just be like, I don't know what's going on here. It's uncomfortable. I got to go. Got to go. Bye. They're saying don't do this. I'm saying this as a Pisces. I do feel like it's a Pisces thing. I'm saying this again as a Pisces, that we have this survival mechanism, a lot of us. When it gets overwhelming, we just emotionally shut off. We're physically there. We intelligently can go through a situation. Like, we can do what we need to get done. But emotionally, we're shut off. It's kind of like walking into a kitchen and people are just nuts. They're just nuts. But however that works for you. They're just acting crazy. And you're like, I can't deal with this, but I have to make dinner. So you just walk in there. I'm sure we've all done this, where you just walk in there. You just make sure people don't get in your way. You make sure that things don't, you just start cooking up what you got to cook, cut what you got to cook, get this done, get that done. You put this, you just over-center on what you need to get done, and you just try to ignore, or actually, in my case, I become oblivious to what's going on around me. My mother used to hate that when I was a kid. There could be madness going on around me, but if I'm centering, for example, on the TV, all I am experiencing is what's on the TV. There's madness going on around me. I literally don't hear it. All I hear is the TV, kind of like a hyper-focus thing. They're saying don't do that. Don't do that. So when you realize you're doing it, make a conscious effort to not do it. Hold your ground. The advice here is to hold your ground and pay attention to what's going on around you. Hold your ground, hold it, and pay attention to what's going on here. Because there is something good here for you, something great here for you. Be careful. It's very interesting to not overthink things that don't make sense. Don't try to make things make sense. Try to put it down in tangible reality. In fact, if you, I'm going to say this, if you have earth signs that you have friends with, Virgo is usually the opposite of Pisces, and sometimes it's hard for Pisces and Virgo to get along because Virgo, does criticize with care. Once you realize they only do that for people they ever actually care about, I feel like it's easier. I actually get along with Virgo quite well, ironically. But the point is, if you have an earth sign you're a friend with, talk with them, or somebody who has that earth energy where they bring things down to reality. Talk about what you're going through with them. Talk about what you're seeing. They'll probably point out what you can hold on to and what actually makes sense. And they'll kind of point you in a direction like, well, I see you're telling me this and you're telling me that. Well, see if this is happening, because that would make sense to me that if this was happening, why all the rest of this is going on. So if you have some type of confidant or somebody who's more of that earth energy, more of the like, let's bring it down to reality, let's look at what's actually tangible we can hold on to energy, they're the people who they usually tend to have a plan, those people. They're also the same people that they don't like their plans messed up. Those type of people. They can help you see what's really here. Be careful to not overthink what you're guessing. Like, if you don't understand what's really happening, but you think, like, I wonder if this is why, I wonder if that is why, don't get caught up in the possibilities of, like, I wonder if that's why they said that, I wonder if this is why they said that. I was recently on a ghost hunt, and one of the ghosts put on the machine something very derogatory, and the next day I woke up to myself, I was like, were they talking about me? Like, was that for me? Don't do that. Because I had to, like, shut it off and, like, stop myself from doing that, because part of my... Like, the other part of the thought came in, like, what if it was? Let it go. Just let it go. It's a ghost. Let it go. So it's like, don't let yourself go there. If you catch yourself doing it, shut it down and be like, what if it... Let's just not go there. Just hold on to the tangible. Try not to let your thoughts go somewhere where they don't need to. It's going to keep going, whatever the situation is. It is actually really good. It's weird because it's kind of like... Because it's so crazy, it doesn't feel like it. Keeps going, it keeps moving forward. As long as you stay engaged and pay attention, you'll know when it is you need to step in. I feel like it'll be very easy. As long as you're paying attention and you're watching, you'll see what you like, you'll gravitate closer to it, and you'll just naturally merge in with it. It won't be that hard. If you're not paying attention, though, and you've turned off emotionally, it'll go right by you. You won't know the difference. So be careful of that. Be careful of that. If you turn off, you won't know. There we go, and you'll be like, I don't know nothing. And that's what you want. It went by. You know what I'm saying? So pay attention. Doesn't mean you have to get involved with everything, but listen. Keep an eye out. Stay emotionally engaged. If you see yourself emotionally shutting off, bring it to your own attention to be like, no, I can't do that because I need to pay attention so I can see what I want. And when you see what you want, you'll just naturally kind of quietly move. It won't even be that hard. I feel like you'll just quietly just kind of merge in where you want to. It won't be that big of a deal. If you're able to get into that inner circle, which I'm kind of getting a circle thing with the pentacle thing, it'll just start taking a life of its own. And there's a lot of... I feel like the energy will just start... Once it realizes you fit, it'll start pulling you towards it. I don't think it'll be that hard. I feel like it's just you got to stay engaged. I feel like that's the whole thing. You got to stay engaged. If you emotionally shut off and you just go numb to it, you're not going to see your cue and you're not going to step out on stage. If you stay engaged and watch and you realize you're doing it and you're like, I have to stay, I have to pay attention, I have to make sure I stay engaged with this, you'll see where you want to be. Like, oh, I want to be over there. I got that. That's the costume I have on. I want to be over with those people. And you'll just seamlessly go, like, here they go. Other people that look like me are going now, and I'm just going to walk with them. And here I am on stage doing what I need to do now. If that makes sense. It's a great thing, whatever it is, but it's kind of like you're going to have a hard time getting into it if you're not staying emotionally engaged. If you shut off emotionally, you might miss the whole boat, the whole thing. All you have to do is stay emotionally engaged. You'll see it. You'll naturally get into it. If you don't, you'll be just like, it'll go right by you. You won't even see it. It'll be like my mom when I was a kid. She would say all this. She's like, that just hit the floor. That everything just fell on the floor, and you didn't even flinch. I'm like, what fell on the floor? Meanwhile, there's a big pile of glass next to me. She's like, how did you not see that? Like, I don't know. Like, things can be happening right next to you, but if you're emotionally shut off to it, you won't even notice it. It'll just be like, you missed the boat. You know what I mean? Stay engaged. It'll be worth it. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.